Hello, I'm Kate with Sallie Tomato, and I hope you'll join me for an easy to sew project today. This is Billie, a versatile and reversible basket. Use it to organize your home or office, display small items, or use it for gift giving. I'll also share a few ideas for expanding your design options. And we're going to use rivets for part of the basket construction, which makes this project even faster to put together. So let's get started.
Before beginning, take a few minutes to review the pattern for recommended fabrics. I really like using cork fabric. It's pliable, doesn't ravel, and it's easy to sew and has enough structure to hold the shape that we'll be creating. But have fun trying other fabrics too. You'll need a main and contrast fabrics. I'll be adding a piece of heavy stabilizer, but you may choose to skip that addition. And then select small and medium-sized rivets in a metal color that complements your fabrics. The Sallie Tomato hardware is available in nickel, gold, antique, gunmetal, and rose gold. Next, gather a few notions and tools to have on hand while you create. Clover Wonder clips, chalk or removable pen, basting tape, glue or spray, a stiletto, and then rotary punch and rivet setting tools. Follow the pattern for cutting your fabrics. Now we're ready to mark stitching lines. On the right side of the contrast piece, mark a square using a removable pen or the chalk. Then mark a second square between the first square and the raw edge. Now you're going to mark a dot in the center of each side on the wrong side of the main piece and draw a square connecting the dots. Insert a new top stitching needle and set your stitch length to 3.5 millimeters. You're ready to top stitch, following only the lines of the marked center squares on both the main and contrast pieces. Place the stabilizer on the wrong side of the main piece, centered within the top stitched square. Secure the stabilizer in place with basting spray, glue, or tape. More basting spray or tape. Next, place the contrast piece over the main piece, wrong sides together, aligning all the raw edges, and sewing clips around the outer edges. Now top stitch through all the layers, following the previous top stitching, securing the stabilizer at the same time. Bury the thread tails between the wrong sides. If you take the time to bury the thread tails as you go, your basket will look perfectly neat when it's completed. Now flip the project over and top stitch, this time following the top stitch center square of the main piece. Try using a zipper or narrow foot when stitching around the inner square. The foot won't ride up on the stabilizer and your stitching will be more even. Flip your project over to top stitch the second marked square on the contrast side. Again, bury the thread tails between the wrong sides or trim the thread ends close to the fabric to keep everything neat. Now top stitch an 1/8 inch from the raw edge, removing the sewing clips as you sew. Remember to bury the thread tails or trim them close to keep that edge neat, and if you top stitch a 1/4 inch from the raw edges instead of the 1/8 inch, you'll be able to trim the outer edge with a pinking or scallop shears for even more creative options. Mark and punch holes for medium rivet placements along the center of each edge, and then mark and punch holes for small rivets in each corner. Suggested measurements are detailed in the pattern. Jess has a really helpful tutorial for installing rivets on our YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out for helpful tips. Then mark the dart placement. Fold the fabric in half, matching adjacent corners to find the center. Use a few sewing clips to hold the folds together. Now draw a line beginning at the raw edge and ending at the visible top stitching near the center. Again, refer to the pattern for exact measurements if you like, but feel free to have fun with the dart widths and lengths for variety. Making shorter or narrower darts will create a more shallow bowl shape. Be sure to write notes on your pattern so you can easily repeat a favorite shape. Let's stitch that first dart. Set the stitch length to 3.5 millimeters. You really want a longer length for the darts, and you'll see why in just a minute. Stitch each dart following the marked line and go on to mark and stitch the remaining 3 darts in the same way. Double check that you've trimmed or buried the thread tails before folding down each corner. Now mark the basket side, using the hole in the corner to mark through. Do take the time to check the position, that they're aligned, and that you aren't going to punch into the top stitching. Okay, punch the side holes. It's a little easier to punch the side holes when the corner is folded or rolled out of the way of the punch tool. Insert small rivets into the corners and sides. Then insert the medium rivets into the dart holes, bringing the rivet post through the dart stitching and secure. This is why we stitched with the 3.5 millimeter length for that dart shaping. And here's another fun design option. Gently turn the basket so the darts are to the inside. Then secure the corners to the outside, following the next step of aligning the corner and side holes. Let's add a handle. Begin by shaping the ends of the main and contrast pieces for the handles with either the curved or pointed shape. Templates are included in the pattern. Mark in from the center of each long edge. Then draw lines from the marking to the end of the shaped ends along each side. Trim away the excess along the marked lines. With wrong sides together and all the edges aligned, secure layers with sewing clips or basting spray or tape. Top stitch along the edges with an 1/8 inch allowance. Mark and punch the rivet holes just in from the point or curved ends for medium rivet placements. Position the handle on the basket, holding it in place with a few sewing clips. Mark the basket through the holes in the handle, then remove the handle and punch the holes in the basket side. Now you can reposition the handle, secure it with rivets, and your basket is complete.
Well, I certainly had fun showing you how easy it is to make Billie. I hope you'll enjoy making more baskets for all sorts of reasons. This monthly mini pattern complements our Cork of the Month Club fabrics beautifully. Be sure to check out both clubs for more sewing fun and inspiration. And we always love to see photos of your completed projects, so share photos with us by tagging us at #SallieTomato and #BillieBasketPattern. Remember to give a thumbs up if you found this tutorial helpful, and I'm looking forward to sewing again with you soon. Bye.